Hello and welcome. My name is Eva, master's level professional in the field of psychology, author, and international book coach. And I am excited because today we are talking about 9 different types of literary villains, because not all villains are created equal. So let's go ahead and get right into some of these types that you can identify in stories or you can use when you write a book of your own. Now, the first up is the evil genius. Now, the evil genius villain is not necessarily after any one particular person. Instead, they want to create a sense of grandeur around themselves and perhaps teach society as a whole a lesson. So typically they have a grand idea that they might want to defend, they might want to leave their mark on history, or they might just be looking to flex their sense of superior intellect over others. So depending on how unhinged this character might be, they might even go ahead and go down with the sinking ship itself. Number 2 type of villain is the typical bully. So this person, either by size or by brute force, typically is pounding on the weaker or smaller kids in order to assert some sense of dominance over the school playground. So you can think of characters like Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter, or the many characters mentioned in My Diary of a Wimpy Kid, for example. So the main character or protagonist typically has to outsmart the bully using their wit or cunning in order to sort of rid themselves of this nuance. The number 3 type of villain are sorcerers and witches. So these are exciting characters because it often involves some sort of magic. So there might be a talking plants or talking animals. There might be a flight around a school on a magical broomstick, for example. So you can think of tales, of course, like Harry Potter or Maleficent, where the villain is trying to amass more power for their magical purposes. These tales are really fun because once you sprinkle on some spells and a little bippity boppity boop, the possibilities are endless. Number 4 type of literary villain include longtime rivals. So initially, it might be difficult to tell who is the villain and who is not in these types of stories, because they often start out as friends. So typically what we see is that the protagonist or hero is usually the one who tries to resolve the conflict in some way, whereas the bad character or the villain is the one who won't let go of the grudge match or goes a little bit too far. Now, sometimes the truth is better than fiction, and to illustrate, let's take the great American writers F. Scott Fitzgerald and Ernest Hemingway, for example. Now, they had a bit of a rivalry, and Ernest Hemingway certainly seems like he was the aggressor. He would say things like F. Scott Fitzgerald was a drunk, and he even went after his wife, saying that she was a manipulative woman. And even 10 years after Fitzgerald had died, Ernest Hemingway had called him a wasted talent, which is not very kind at all. The number 5 villain type on the list is the establishment. So think of the government and the elites or any sort of ruling class that is asserting their dominance over the common folk. Now, we love stories like these because we like a good underdog story, and we like people fighting for a cause, especially if it's for their freedom or for the ideas of liberty and fairness. In other words, the underdog story is one for the ages. So you can think of the Hunger Games, you can think of stories like Robin Hood, or you can think of 1984 by George Orwell. The number 6 type of literary villain is the good character gone bad. Now, this character is one that's been pushed up against the ropes or put into a tight spot and find that they have to bend or break the rules or step outside of their regular boundaries in order to get a need met. Now, your reader is typically going to identify or sympathize with this type of villain because we can see ourselves in them. We know that we're just one mishap sometimes away from being placed in a tight spot where some tough decisions have to be made. So think of characters like your Walter White or your Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. Or I think of, another one, A Running Man by Stephen King. Number 7 on the list is the Femme Fatale, one of my favorite types of characters, also known as the Fatal Woman. She is going to use her prowess, her intellect, and her beauty to get her needs met. She can't help but be by nature mysterious and slightly cruel when need be. She usually disarms her victim and they never see their doom coming. So think of characters, for example, in Gone Girl or the Black Dahlia. The number 8 villain type is the psychopath. What is it about the darkness surrounding this character that intrigues us so? So this character type might be bent on creating terror and destruction for a large group of people or a singular person that they want to focus their attention and efforts on. So make sure you go dark with this character. What are the depths that they're willing to go to psychologically consume your reader? The number 9 villain type is the evil step-parent, which is usually the evil stepmom. And typically there is some sort of jealousy surrounding this character. The stepchild may be more beautiful, more kind and loving, or more talented than that evil step-parent. So they are forced to perform difficult tasks, or they're sent on blank missions, or they're just treated poorly overall, all right? I hope this list has helped shed some light on the different types of villains there are in stories. Go out and write an amazing tale, or if not, pick up a good book and see if you can tell what the villain might be up to, all right? Until next time, be happy and confident speakers and writers.